Hello everyone, here is a 25 4-stroke Yamaha tiller. I have the hood on the ground. This motor has a pretty interesting story behind it. This was owned by FWC in South Florida. I had to drive pretty far. It was 3.5 hours to go get it one way. And basically, FWC took it to a shop to get its first service. And I mean, you could see that the lower unit bolts have never been removed. The paint it still has original paint on it. Basically, FWC took it to the shop to get it serviced, and magically, I mean, it was running great, they said. And when they dropped it off, the shop told them that it needs a new crank and new crank bearings. And then after they talked to them, they offered them a brand new engine. Basically, they bought a brand new engine from the shop, and they took the propeller off here, put on the new engine, and they had this engine sitting, and they put up for auction recently, and I purchased it. And that stated that the mechanic shop said that the crank needs a new crank and crank bearings, but I mean, this thing has low hours. I mean, you could just see, I mean, look at the inside, look how clean this thing is. It's crazy. So I haven't even started this thing. I believe that it's gonna run. I don't think it's gonna need a new crank or crank bearings. I mean, it's a Yamaha and it's way too new, but you never know. So I'm gonna take this thing out and gonna put some oil in it and fire it up. Alright, so the engine's on my stand. Just needs to be cleaned up, all this, everything. Like I said, inside, after I'm done with it, it's gonna look spotless. There's some sand right here. It's dirty, but look at the power head. Look at that. More dirt. Oh, my ticket slipped. I don't know if it's gonna start and run or if it needs a carb job, but the guy told me that they did drain all the oil out. So gonna have to refill that. Gonna hook up my fuel and let's see what happens. Let's give it a shot. Crank bearings and the crank is totally fine in this engine. As you can see, they literally took advantage of FWC because they knew they would buy a new engine. That's the first time I started this thing. That's crazy. Get that hood on. Let's see what it looks like with the hood. Look at that. Nothing wrong with this engine. Literally nothing wrong. Only needs a prop. Such a nice engine. So here I'm just gonna do a walk around on it. Like I said, I need to clean it. You know what I mean? Look at that. No paint missing on the lower unit. I mean, I know I just have to clean this up, but I mean, for what I paid for this, I mean, it's crazy. And this thing is pretty nice. Technically, it's a 2014 Yamaha 25. And this thing purrs like a kitten. It doesn't even need this thing doesn't even need a carb job. Wow. I'm so surprised the impeller is still good in this thing. It's still on the original impeller. Nice. Alright, well, there you go. just wanted to show you guys this motor I bought. I kind of figured out I didn't need new crank or end bearings, but it's a pretty sweet motor. I mean, this thing is really nice. So yeah, let me just give it a quick rinse and I'll show you guys what it looks like after. Alright, so I cleaned the outside of the engine. I still have to clean the inside tomorrow. Just gonna leave that because it's getting a little late. But I'm glad this engine worked out for me. I pretty much knew this engine was a running engine. I mean, these engines are really reliable and they barely break down. So I hope you guys don't take the advice on your first boat mechanic, because you never know if he's trying to take some money from you. So it's always good to get a second opinion on something if you guys don't know anything about boat motors or whatever other mechanical stuff you might own. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll make some videos on this engine, running it on my boat and just seeing how well this thing runs. So thank you for watching.